In response to the Ray Rice situation, some people are calling for the NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to step down. I really don't have an opinion on that, nor do I care. So Rush Limbaugh went on a long, babbling rant over this, where he argued that, no, it goes deeper than just that. The liberals don't just want to get rid of Roger Goodell. There's a leftist assault on football.
There's an assault on football here. It's all part of this focus on concussions. And I am convinced that the people that run this league have no idea what they're up against. They really don't. They have no clue. And they have no clue how to deal with it. They deal with it like every other group of cowards deals with all these other attacks on the left. They pander, they try to appease, and please, and give them a portion or all of what they are demanding and want. And the thing that they don't get is that with the left, it's never about what they say they're angry about. It's never about that, and they can't be appeased. They can never be pleased. They can never be made happy. They never are, no matter what they're given, no matter what compromises are made in there. They're never happy with whatever they get, be it a tax increase, be it nationalization of health care. They never end up happy with what they get. You know, Goodell could resign. It wouldn't end anything. You just fuel the nags and they would start demanding more things. Because pretty soon what they're going to be saying is, the hell with violence against women. The game itself is too violent. We don't need this in our culture. We don't need this kind of barbarism in our society. We don't need these kind of rewards for injuring people. We don't need these kind of rewards, financial or otherwise, for giving people concussions. We don't need these kind of rewards for turning students out of colleges that don't have degrees and don't have any education. We don't need to be rewarding any of this. This game simply is not what America is about in the 21st century. That's where this is headed. This game is too violent. It's too ugly. It promotes violence. It rewards it, celebrates it, and we are not a violent society anymore. And we're not going to be. And this is where, and right in there assisting with all this, unwittingly, by the way, have been the sports drive-bys who love leftist cultural upheaval.
Rush Limbaugh is a special kind of stupid. His entire career is based off of straw man arguments against liberals and made up shit. That's his entire career. He just argued that liberals are not only fighting to make Roger Goodell step down, which again, that's not even necessarily true. I haven't seen a poll that says that's what all liberals want. No, there's, I think, one organization, maybe two organizations, the National Organization for Women and maybe one other or a few other that say, yeah, we'd like him to step down. Oh, and Keith Olbermann called for it. I haven't heard anybody else speak about it. But what does he do? He takes that and says, that's not enough for them. What they really want is to ban football. The NFL in the United States of America is wildly popular. I mean, it's not just conservative Republicans that like it. It's not NASCAR. There are plenty of Democrats and liberals and whatever who are in favor of the NFL and who watch it. And guess what? There are people like me. I'm not a football guy. I like the NBA. I love basketball. Everybody knows I'm a big golf nerd. But I don't watch the NFL. But I'm not in favor of banning it. And also, think about this stupidity. Rush Limbaugh knows that boxing exists. He knows that the UFC exists. And what does he say? No, the liberals are not going to focus on that. They want to ban football. But wouldn't they want to ban those others first? Those are more violent by far. They're admittedly more violent. You know, hockey, you could probably make an argument, is more violent. But see how it's the thing? He just flails. He's just making it up as he goes along. He's just making it up. And also, you know who was leading the charge? Because the UFC was actually a political issue. I think it was in the 90s. Because originally there were no rules whatsoever. Now I think there's a few, and they've changed it a little bit as time's gone by. But you know who led the charge? Republicans. Republicans led the charge of, no, this is too violent. Way too violent. Everything about Rush Limbaugh's show, everything about his personality, he screams, I don't know anything. I'm just a guy with an opinion and time to fill for me to talk. And he just flails, man. Look, I've had this theory about conservative talk radio for a while. I really think as time goes by, it's proven correct. And it's not just Rush Limbaugh. He might be the biggest offender, but it's also Glenn Beck. O'Reilly's the exception. He really is. Like him or hate him, and we don't like him, he does prepare. Like, he reads all these right-wing blogs and shit, and it's bad information, but he does prepare. And he actually does care. I believe him, right? For Limbaugh and Beck and a bunch of others, I don't even think they read articles before they get on air. I really don't. I think that what they do is they'll go to Breitbart or they'll go to the Daily Caller or the Drudge Report, any of these websites that are just filled with horse shit. I mean, total biased right-wing talking points, disregard for the facts. And they just read a headline, maybe read half a paragraph, maybe a full paragraph if they really go in. On a given topic, and what do? They'll talk about something, blame it on Democrats. Give the first few lines of the fucking article, blame it on Democrats. It's all their fault. They're terrible at everything. And they want to ban football, even though they don't want to fucking ban football, and I just pulled that out of my ass. And final thing I'll say is, it was the clearest example of projection ever in the middle of his rant there. He goes, well, you're never going to make these liberals happy. They won't compromise, and no matter what they're given, they're always going to ask for more. That is exactly what the Republicans are like, specifically the elected Republicans right now. I mean, what was Obamacare? The Democratic position is universal health care, right? They caved to a public option, and then they caved to the Republican idea, which is an individual mandate. Richard Nixon first came up with it. Later on, the right-wing think tank, the Heritage Foundation, supported it, wrote policy papers about it. It was Chuck Grassley's idea, Newt Gingrich's idea. So we do their proposal, and then what do they say? Not good enough. We're still going to argue against it. We're still going to hate it. I mean, foreign policy. Obama does Bush's NSA spying, and then all of a sudden it's bad when he does it. But you loved it under Bush, so you want to talk about no matter what they're given, they don't like it. Obama does all of your policies. He made, over 95% of the Bush tax cuts permanent, and the Republicans still attack him. Obama does all conservative policies, and the conservatives still fucking hate him. I've never seen a clearer example of projection. And look, when you hear clips like this, you realize why Rush Limbaugh's show is about to go belly up, okay? Because we've seen articles, college radio stations are now beating him. College radio stations have a signal that goes out like 36 feet. They're beating him in the major markets, okay? He's way upside down. He doesn't even get money from advertisers much anymore. You know where he gets it from? The right-wing think tanks. He's a big welfare queen from the right-wing think tanks. They give him money. They expected to turn a profit. They lost millions of dollars. TikTok, Rush is going to be off the air, and you're seeing exactly why with clips like this.